guys, it's Melanie. Happy Friday and welcome back to another weekly beauty chit chat. If you are new around here, this video goes up pretty much most Fridays, and it's just an opportunity for me to casually chit chat about all of the fun, frivolous, completely unnecessary beauty products that I was either loving or obsessing about over the course of the past week. As always, I have a fun little lineup of things to share, and as always, if any of these items are currently available, I will list and link them in the description box down below. I think this might be another week of me not being able to link certain things because I am really focusing on using a lot of, especially when it comes to makeup, like a lot of the older makeup in my collection right now. I feel like I have neglected some things over the last several years, and I'm just trying to, you know, use the stuff that hasn't been shown any love as of late. So at any rate, I will list and link everything in the description box down below if you'd like to know where to purchase these items, read up other people's reviews, look at in-depth ingredient information, yada yada yada. Check out the description box. It's usually a plethora of information. Let me know how your week was in the comments down below, and also let me know what you were loving this past week as well. Anyway, I hope you guys had a really good week. I think I had a pretty good week myself. I did go get my hair cut. I had about 2 inches taken off, so my hair feels a lot fresher. I really don't think that my hair is ideal for a length much beyond what this is here. I think maybe I could do another couple of inches once all of my regrowth kind of meets this hair down here. But as of right now, my ends are still a little bit thinner than my roots. If you're new around here, I experienced a significant amount of hair loss last year. I had a pretty major iron deficiency that I was not aware of, and also I'm going through hormonal changes, and I think those two things combined just wrecked my hair, and it was just falling out. And I've been on a journey for the last year of regrowing my hair, really focusing on scalp health, and it's working. It's working really well. But hair grows pretty slowly, so I feel like through here, like I've got like almost a lot more hair than I do at my ends. So what I'm trying to do now is just kind of, you know, chop every 6 months, maybe take off like 2-3 inches and kind of get it to where the new growth is meeting the old growth. Should we call it old growth? So anyway, I love my hairdresser. She is very meticulous. This is actually a newer hairdresser to me, and I'm really glad that I found her, because not only is she just like a nice person, which I think is important if you're going to be sitting with someone, you know, and talking to them for like an hour, but she's also really good with fine thin hair, and that's something that has honestly been hard for me to come across when searching for hairdressers. The hairdresser that I had before this last one, I don't know what happened to her. She like just left town with no forwarding address, so I hope she's okay. I was seeing her for a few years, so I was just like kind of bummed. But this new person that I'm with is fabulous. So really excited to have had a little bit of length removed, and the ends just feel so fresh. I don't know. I love a good haircut. So anyway, I feel pretty good about that. And otherwise, I just had a pretty good week. So I like it. I'll take it. I hope you had one too. All right, you guys, without further ado, let's dig into these favorites from this past week. I'm gonna start with perfume because it's always where we start. I love the smelly things. I have 2 fragrances from this last week that I was probably wearing a little bit more frequently than some of my other fragrances. This first one here is the Sniff Tarte Deco. And, oh, you guys, if you love a good, deep cherry fragrance, you have to smell this. It is absolutely stunning. It's got a little bit of like a masculine vibe to it at the same time. I'll of course have the fragrance notes going across the screen here, but little slight masculine note, but a really beautiful, sweet, deep like cherry note. Little bit of vanilla. It is delightful. I love the Sniff fragrances. Now, I don't love this one as much as I do the Creme Couture, which still my holy grail from these guys, but they make some fabulous fragrances. And one thing you want to know about the Sniff fragrance products is they are actually eau de toilettes. But I tell you what, these are eau de toilettes that I swear perform like eau de parfums. These are fantastic, absolutely worth checking out if there's a fragrance that kind of rocks your boat. Get it. They perform beautifully and they really do last, I feel, a lot longer than any other eau de toilette that I've ever tried in the past. These are great. And that's a very intense fragrance, so it's not one that you want to overdo it with. I can tell you that. I did have Craig tell me once, it's too much. So had to go get rid of some of it. But anyway, speaking of Craig, this guy, Craig is my husband, by the way, if you're new, he loves this dupe of YSL Black Opium. So yesterday I shared my my second round of Twist dupe fragrances, and in full disclosure, this was sent to me as PR. Addicted number 3, like I said, is a dupe for YSL Black Opium. I feel like for the most part, the fragrances are very similar to each other, but the Addicted number 3, to my nose at least, is missing that coffee note that the original YSL Black Opium definitely has. But that being said, I actually don't mind that in this one. I just think this smells so beautiful. And every time that I've worn this specific fragrance, Craig has complimented me. And listen, I wear a lot of perfume, so I kind of feel like, not that he doesn't like notice things anymore. Like he definitely, you know, Craig is so great. Like he compliments me when he thinks I look pretty, or, you know, when I'm wearing something nice, or when I'm wearing a good perfume. But I feel like over the 2+ decades that we have now been together, that maybe he's become a little bit numb to the fragrance because I wear it every single day. So when he notices something, that really kind of says something to me. And this fragrance, for whatever reason, he just loves it. So I don't know, maybe your man will too, who knows, but it makes me want to wear this one a whole lot more. So anyway, I love this one. I have not actually applied fragrance yet today, so let's wear this one. That way, when he comes home from work here, I'll be smelling like $1,000,000. Also, did you see that nice like atomizer situation here? The perfect distribution of fragrance. These are eau de parfum formulations. They are incredibly long lasting. And I do think that a lot of, well, the 4 dupes that I've tried are either almost spot on or very, very close. But as I said in my reviews, in their own right, even if this wasn't like a dupe of something, it's just a great fragrance. Like it just is beautifully done. They do have master perfumers that formulate all of these fragrances, and they have a ton of dupes, you guys. So if you are looking for Tom Ford fragrances, Creed, Le Labo, if you're looking for Burberry, a whole host of dupes. You can find this brand both on Amazon, but they also have their own website. So I'll have it linked down at their website as well as Amazon, whatever your preference is there, but definitely worth checking out. And I will say, when you order from their website, there is free shipping over $40, and there's also free return shipping. So if it doesn't float your boat the way this floats my boat, you can send it back. So I really like that. Next, let's discuss a new hair care product that I was testing out this past week. So in last week's video, I mentioned that I was testing out the TRESEMME Total Volume Volumizing Spray. I got that recommendation from Justin Hickox, who did a little volumizing spray challenge on his channel. And he seemed really impressed by this TRESEMME volumizing spray. Now, I didn't have the same experience that Justin did. I mean, it was fine. It definitely gave my hair a little bit more texture, but I have really fine, thin hair. And for me, I have always used a volumizing spray in combination with a mousse. So those two are like my must-haves for really the type of volume that I'm looking for. So anyway, my local Fred Meyer did not have the Total Volume Mousse. They didn't even have the Total Volume Volumizing Spray, but they did have, ironically enough, just the hairspray. So since they didn't have the Total Volume Mousse, I opted to pick up the Extra Hold Mousse. And man, I tell you what, I got a screaming deal on this. So I think regularly this is like, I don't know, no, I paid $7.99, but I think originally this is like $11.99 or $13.99. So even not being on sale, I feel like this is a very affordable hair care product. So this week I have been using this in conjunction with the Total Volume Volumizing Spray. And I do think it gives a decent amount of volume, a little bit of texture to my hair. But I wish that I could say that it performed exactly the way that the Kenra Platinum Thickening Mousse and the Kenra Volumizing Spray does for me, but it did not do that. That being said, I feel like if you are on a budget or you just don't like splurging on hair care the way that I do, I think that this mousse combined with the Total Volume Spray, that might be worth trying, because you can get both of those products, both of the TRESEMME products, for less than the price of just the Kenra Mousse. So I think it's worth checking out. One thing that really surprised me when I was reading the back of this can was that TRESEMME has been around since 1948. I had no idea. Honestly, I thought these guys like came into being in like the 80s, maybe the 90s at the earliest, but yeah, man, before the 50s, wild. So obviously a well-established brand. TRESEMME used to actually be my go-to before I switched over to using exclusively like higher end hair care products. It is still one of my favorite drugstore brands, and it's cruelty-free. So if you are trying to shop cruelty-free and you're trying to stay with drugstore hair care lines, I would definitely recommend checking out TRESEMME. Garnier is another line that is cruelty-free as well. So at any rate, I think it's decent. Do I love it? I don't love it. Will I go back to purchasing the Kenra Mousse myself? Probably. I'm still gonna try to hunt down the Total Volume Mousse, however. So the next time that I pop into Target, I'll grab that. But my Fred Meyer, like I said, did not have the Total Volume, well, much of the Total Volume line. So anyway, I think it's worth a try. So if you're in the market, go to town. Let's go ahead and discuss some skincare next, and then we will end with makeup. All right, I have two skincare items from this past week that I want to mention. The first is the SkinFix Eczema Plus Dermatitis Relief Balm. We'll tackle this one first, and then we will discuss this Paula's Choice product here. All right, so I had my fibrous papules removed a couple of weeks ago now. The one on my nose, it's taking a little bit longer to heal. The one on my chin has now lost the initial scab that formed, and it is well on its way to the healing process. It's a little bit discolored, obviously. You know, the skin is going to be kind of pink for a little while. I have not lost the scab off of the fibrous papule that was removed from my nose. That particular one was a lot bigger than the one on my chin, so the dermatologist warned me it would probably take a little bit longer to heal. So that original scab is still there. During the first week of healing, he told me to exclusively use Vaseline just to protect the areas and to keep Band-Aids on as much as possible. But after that first week, I could, you know, use a really gentle, unscented, like balm type product to protect the skin in those areas. So I had this on hand, so I decided to see if I could get away with using this instead of buying something new, and this has worked out really well for me this week. This Dermatitis Relief Balm has a 5% colloidal oatmeal in it, and it's really, really soothing. This is also a really hydrating product. So I have this because I also deal with eczema. Luckily, right now I'm not dealing with any flare-ups, knock on wood, but this to protect these two areas has been fabulous, you guys. I literally take the smallest amount, like this is the amount here, and then I distribute that between my two fingers. And then this first finger, I will just apply this around, you know, the area here on my nose where that scab is kind of healing up. And then I will do the same around this area here. This not only serves to like keep those areas hydrated, but it also serves as a protectant from any actives. I'm not supposed to use any actives on these areas at all until they are fully healed. So that's still a couple of weeks away at this point. And having this balm on those areas is a little bit of a reminder for me when I'm applying the skincare to the rest of my face, because I'm still using my actives elsewhere, to just kind of stay away from those areas. So I don't completely rub the balm in until I'm done with all of my skincare, and then, you know, I'll wash my hands, and then I really, you know, kind of rub that into those areas. And it just, again, it helps me with the reminder of not accidentally going over those areas with my tretinoin or my vitamin C or my niacinamide or any of the other things that I'm using on a daily basis, right? So this is fabulous. Also, if you have eczema, this is fabulous for eczema. I've used this on myself. I've used this on my daughter. She also unfortunately deals with eczema flare-ups. So that's a great product, highly recommend. It's just a good thing to have kind of maybe in like your first aid kit. Secondly, the Paula's Choice Pro Retinaldehyde Dual-Retinoid treatment. So I was using this almost exclusively on my neck for the first few weeks that I was using this. But lately, I've decided to also use this on my face, and I really kind of like it on my face as well. I will still use tretinoin on my face because my face has become acclimated to it, and it does do a really good job with, you know, the turnover, and the anti-aging benefits of tretinoin are fantastic. I know not everybody loves it. My skin loves it and has become acclimated to it, and it just helps to kind of address the melasma a little bit. It doesn't do a whole lot for my melasma, but it does, you know, kind of help it. But in terms of like the overall look of my pores, the clarity of my skin, tretinoin has been fabulous for that. But my neck is so sensitive, but I still think it needs some of the anti-aging benefits that maybe a retinaldehyde or a retinoid can provide. And this is so gentle. So again, using it on my face now as well. And I do think it really does help with that surface cell turnover. It's not quite as aggressive as tretinoin, but that's probably a good thing actually. I will say I really am still loving this on my neck. I love how clear my neck looks and how even the skin tone is. Like it just looks good. And I don't usually, I don't usually look at my neck and think, that's a nice neck. You got a good neck there, lady. But I do think that it's helping a lot. Also, I think, you know, like over time, a lot of these like anti-aging products hopefully will lessen the look of this line across my neck here. I think most of us probably have a line that's very similar. It's basically from just, you know, looking down at our phones all day long. So it is what it is. But listen, if you cannot use tretinoin and you are looking for a retinoid or a retinaldehyde that is super gentle, I honestly can't recommend this one enough. I love Paula's Choice. You can find their products at Sephora now as well. So if you're in the market, check this out. I will say, when you order from the Paula's Choice website, usually there's like a 20% off sale going on, so it's a little bit of a better deal at Paula's Choice, but obviously it would be easier to probably return to a Sephora if your skin had a reaction to it. So not that like Paula's Choice doesn't guarantee their products, they do, but then, you know, you'd have to mail it back. Listen, whatever floats your boat in terms of retailers, just check it out. I think it's a really great skincare product. Next, let's go ahead and finish off with the makeup finds from this past week. So got some old makeup here, guys. I wanted to look through my blush drawer and pick out a couple of blushes that really hadn't seen the light of day for a little while here, and these two immediately caught my eye. I think the last time that I used these was probably last fall, so that's embarrassing. But also, I do have an extensive blush collection. I've whittled it down a lot over the years, but there's still too much blush. Anyway, so I have Foxglove, which I'm wearing today, and then I also have Rosebud. This is Foxglove here. So this is just a really neutral kind of slightly peachy pink. Listen, I used a really light hand today because that was the look that I was going for, just something very natural. But if you want to build these up, these have pigment. You can build these up. If you have a much deeper skin tone than I do, you could still use this shade. It's beautiful. I love this one. But also this rosebud, this mauve, man, isn't that beautiful? This one. So this is probably my favorite shade. And if these blushes happen to still be made, honestly, they are really worth checking out. Not that I'm telling you to go buy more makeup, especially if you already have a ton of it. But if you happen to have these in your collection and like me, you had kind of been ignoring them for a little while, bust them out. They are delightful. Okay, my two eyeshadow palettes from the week were these oldies but goodies. First is the Buxom Dolly's Wild Side eyeshadow palette. I don't think this is available anymore. I still think you can get these individual shades. I believe you still can from Buxom. Don't quote me on that, but again, if you have this eyeshadow palette in your collection already, bust it out. It's a great everyday easy eyeshadow palette. You can see it's quite powdery. I feel like I really want to clean this one up, so I might do that this weekend. But I really love the neutral shades in here. There's quite a bit of shimmer. You get 2 matte shades, and then the remaining 4 definitely have a little bit of, not a little, quite a bit of shimmer to them. But man, I've loved this eyeshadow palette for a really long time, and anything Dolly from Buxom is a go-to because I love me a mauve. Melanie mauves, still my thing. Love them, and that has some gorgeous mauve shades in there for sure. Also, the Too Faced Natural Matte Palette, which I have in like this super old school metal packaging. I think this is still made, but I don't think it is. In fact, I know it's not this style of packaging anymore. But this is one of those really easy to wear eyeshadow palettes. This is actually the one that I have on my eyes today. And I still love this. I don't have a lot of Too Faced products left in my makeup collection. I've decluttered, I would say, the vast majority. But this one palette here, I think, is one of their like rock star products. If I don't end up finishing this, at some point it will be really hard for me to get rid of this one because it is quite old at this point. Just so you guys are aware, I regularly disinfect my powder products, so I don't personally feel like I shouldn't be using these makeup products anymore. First of all, powder products don't harbor bacteria the way that cream products do, but also because I do disinfect these products regularly, I still feel good about using them, if that makes sense. So there are videos here on YouTube that you can watch to learn how to disinfect your makeup and you know, get a little bit more life out of it. So, but makeup does have an expiration date, so at some point this will have to go. That'll be a sad day. All right, lip-wise, I've been using these 2 products here. In fact, this is what I have on my lips today, this little duo. This is the Bare Minerals gloss in the shade Sugar, which once again, just a beautiful kind of mauve-y nude. And then I've been using these 2 together. This is the Indeed Laboratories Hyaluron Plus Volumizing Lip Treatment. I just really kind of like pairing a balm with a gloss right now to thin the balm out a little bit more. I actually really like my natural lip color, and I really like the natural lip color combined with this sugar shade. So I find when I use a little bit of this balm, so here, I'll show you what I do. I can kind of use a little bit of a top off, I guess. So I will apply the gloss just to my lower lip. It's such a pretty color, right? That's gorgeous. I hope I can still link that because that's a stunner. And then I'll just use a little bit of the balm just on the tip of my finger, and then I just kind of work the 2 together, and it thins out the gloss a little bit. This is really hydrating. I don't get any volumizing from this at all. This isn't one of those products that has the like cinnamon oil that will irritate your lips and then cause them to puff up. It's just a really nice hydrating balm, but isn't that pretty? What a nice natural lip look. I love it. Anyway, all right, that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know again what you were loving this past week in the comments down below. Subscribe if you're new, give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.